Cars are becoming more and more sophisticated with each year. Engineers are working to develop cars that are not only quicker and more efficient, but also have more pleasant interiors that make greater use of available space and include cutting-edge materials and technologies. It appears that infotainment systems and inside leather samples are being used to compete for customers instead of horsepower and engineering. Because modern automobiles are merely appliances, in-car features are more important to most purchasers than 0 to 60 miles per hour speeds. The characteristics that were formerly common in all cars have changed so much in today's world that almost anybody really recalls them. In fact, features in our automobiles that we formerly couldn't function without have devolved into absurdity. Here is a list of the 15 most typical and popular automobile features from the past in order to help us remember these fascinating and odd details that have ornamented our cars for so long. Number 15. Quarter glass window. Remember the quarter glass windows on the front. All automobiles had this feature in the past. It was quite practical and allowed people to breathe fresh air. However, quarter windows are no longer used as they are now included as standard in all automobiles. Number 14. CD players. The quintessential 90s automotive edition, CD players vanished as soon as the world became digital. Nowadays, few automakers even include CD players as standard equipment. So if you want to listen to music, you'd best be prepared with your phone and Bluetooth. Number 13. Bench seats. Do you remember when you could fit 2 additional people on the bench seat in the front of the car? Those times are long gone now that no one makes sedans or wagons with this functionality. This wonderful function was destroyed since apparently it is not very safe to have 3 persons in the front. Number 12. Carburetors. It is understandable why millennials are unaware of carburetors, given that the final carbureted automobile was sold in the U.S. in 1991. The carburetor, for those who don't know, is a component that combines gasoline and air before feeding it to the engine. Electric motors or fuel injection systems are now standard in all automobiles. Number 11. Parking brake. Although handbrakes parking brakes are still in use, they are being phased out quite quickly. These used to be in the area in between the seats, but they have now been replaced with a P button on the dashboard. Number 10. Roll down windows. Do you recall lowering your windows by hand? If you do, then you probably recall how absurd and inconvenient it was to mince meat in order to obtain some fresh air. And if you've never experienced this battle, count yourself fortunate because there was once a time when owning power windows implied you were having a good time. Number 9. Hood ornaments. In the past, the top of the grille on the majority of automobiles was proudly adorned with large, sparkling hood decorations. Although it had a stunning appearance, this feature was long since discontinued. Evidently, having a large piece of metal on the front of the hood poses a serious risk to pedestrians. Number 8. In-car phones. Once upon a time, having a phone in your automobile denoted your status as a powerful person. Only a few models came equipped with in-car telephones since they were an expensive extra. This technology is completely out of date nowadays. Number 7. T-tops. The T-top trend, which ran from the middle of the 1970s until the beginning of the 90s, was a terrific way to drive a car with the feeling of being outside without sacrificing the torsion stiffness and comfort of a hardtop. Just think back to those awesome Pontiac Trans Ams. However, there are no T-top vehicles available now. Number 6. Hubcaps. Hubcaps used to be exquisite pieces of pressed aluminum or steel that truly enhanced the look of the automobile. Then the inexpensive plastic ones showed up. It is now just used as wall art at the service station. That's really unfortunate since we really enjoyed them. Number 5. Power antennas. When radio was your only source of informational entertainment in the past, you required a large antenna to receive signals. There is no longer a need for large, pointed antennae because they are now concealed on top of the windscreen together with the GPS receivers. Number 4. Cigarette lighters. Since many years ago, automakers have opted not to include cigarette lighters as part of their unwavering fight against smoking. Ashtrays were transformed into shelves, while lighters were changed into 12-volt plugs. Number 3. Woodgrain side panels. The woodgrain side panels, which were first used in the 50s and continued to be used until the 90s, or a classic American design element. On expensive wagons, and as decorative elements in a large number of suburban driveways, imitation wood panels have become a must. Number 2. Automatic safety belts. Some American and imported automobiles from the late 80s and early 90s had safety belts that automatically buckled as soon as you got inside. Though the method was prone to failure and ultimately abandoned by all organizations, the concept itself wasn't at all horrible. Number 1. Pop-up headlights. We could watch pop-up headlights go up and down for hours when driving a vintage sports vehicle. Sadly, certain items are practically now prohibited. Aerodynamic and pedestrian safety issues force manufacturers to permanently give it up. I'm hoping you'll find this video entertaining and informative. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you enjoy watching and learning about vehicles, smash that bell icon so that you may be notified when I release a new video. Please let me know in the comments section below if there is a particular topic you would want me to cover in my upcoming videos.